Clogs are a type of footwear made in part or completely from wood. Clogs are used worldwide, and although the form may vary by culture, within a culture the form often remained unchanged for centuries. Traditional clogs remain in use as protective footwear in agriculture and in some factories and mines. Although clogs are sometimes negatively associated with cheap and folkloric footwear of farmers and the working class, some types of clogs are considered as fashion wear today, such as Swedish traskor or Japanese getter. Clogs are also used in several different styles of dance. When worn for dancing, an important feature is the sound of the clog against the floor. This is one of the fundamental roots of tap. But with the tap shoes, the taps are free to click against each other and produce different sound to clogs. Types. The Oxford English Dictionary defines a clog as a thick piece of wood, and later as a wooden-soled overshoe, and a shoe with a thick wooden sole. Welsh traditional clog maker Trevor Owen identified three main varieties of clogs: wooden upper, wooden-soled and overshoes. Wooden upper clogs are made by hollowing out a lump of solid wood to make a combined upper and lower. Two main variants can be seen: whole foot clogs, where the wooden upper covers the whole of the foot to near the ankle, such as the familiar Dutch klomp. They are also known as wooden shoes. Whole foot clogs can give sufficient protection to be used as safety footwear without additional reinforcements. Half-open clogs, where the wooden upper extends over the toes or slightly further, such as the Italian zoccolo or Belgian sabots. The upper is similar in outline to a court shoe. Half-open clogs may have additional covering or securing straps in some sort of fabric or leather. Wooden-soled clogs use wood for the sole only. Wooden-soled clogs come with a variety of uppers. Complete uppers made from leather or similar material, such as English clogs. For more protection, they may have steel toe caps or steel reinforcing inserts in the undersides of the soles, open sandal-type fitting. For example, Japanese getter toe peg styles. For example, Indian padaka. Overshoes are wooden soles with straps designed to be worn over other footwear for protection, commonly known as pattens. Pattern-style clogs are not used anymore. However, the derivative galoshes are common worldwide. These divisions are not fixed. Some overshoes look more like whole-foot clogs, like Spanish albahaca, whilst other wooden-soled clogs raise and protect clothing in the way that overshoes do, such as Japanese getter. The type of upper determines how the clogs are worn. Whole-foot clogs need to be close-fitting and can be secured by curling the toes. In contrast, wooden-soled clogs are fastened by laces or buckles on the welt, and therefore the toes are relaxed as in shoes. Half-open clogs may either be secured like whole-foot clogs, or have an additional strap over the top of the foot. Some sandal types, and in particular toe peg styles, are worn more like flip-flops, and rely on the grip between the big and next toe. Being wood, clogs cannot flex under the ball of the foot as softer shoes do. To allow the foot to roll forward, most clogs have the bottom of the toe curved up, known as the cast. Some styles of clogs have feet, such as Spanish albahaca. The clog rotates around the front edge of the front feet. Japanese and Indian clogs may have teeth, or very high pegs attached to the soles. The clog can rotate around the front edge of the front tooth as the wearer strides forward. Some medieval patterns were in two pieces, heel through to ball and ball to toes. Joining the two was a leather strip forming a hinge, thus allowing the shoe above to flex. Origins. The origin of wooden footwear in Europe is not precisely known. The Boerlij reference to the high, thick-soled boots of the Greek tragedy actors in antiquity and to the shoes worn by Roman soldiers. However, there is a possibility that the Celtic and Germanic peoples from southern and northern Europe were familiar with some sort of wooden foot covering. Archaeological finds of these are not known. Wooden footwear often ended up as firewood, and, because of its nature, wood will rot away in the long run. The oldest surviving wooden footwear in Europe is found in Amsterdam and Rotterdam, the Netherlands, and dates from 1230 and 1280. These finds look very similar to the wooden shoes as they are still worn in the Netherlands. Manufacture. Since wooden footwear was a handmade product, the shape of the footwear, as well as its production process, showed great local and regional diversity in style. At the beginning of the 20th century, machine-made wooden footwear was introduced. After WW2, in particular, wooden shoes disappeared from sight. They were replaced by more fashionable or leather and synthetic footwear. At present, only the so-called Swedish clogs is still seen as a trendy fashion item, often as ladies' high-heeled boots. Nevertheless, traditional wooden footwear is still popular in several regions in Europe and in some occupations, for its practical use. Some historic local variations have recently been replaced by uniform national models. More information on the various methods of manufacture can be found from the gallery below. Gallery. Presented below are typical clogs from the countries where they are found. Like many folk items, the boundaries of manufacture and use are regional and therefore do not always exactly follow those of modern states. So, in some countries 2 or more different types can be found. It is also possible that one type can be found in bordering countries. For example, Danish, German, Dutch, Belgian and clogs from northwest France look quite similar. The links provide access to pages dealing with the different types of clog, the design, origin and manufacture. Traditional European clogs: Belgian sabot from Belgium, Truesco from Denmark, sabot from France, Holzschuh from Germany, Zoccolo from Italy, Klumper from Lithuania, Klomp from the Netherlands, Tamancor from Portugal, Cantabrian albaca from Spain, Trascor from Sweden, Zogali from Switzerland, English clog from the United Kingdom, traditional Asian clogs: Padaka from India, Geta from Japan, Bakiak from Indonesia, Namikson from Korea, Terampa from Malaysia, Bakya from the Philippines, Taiping boots from China, Takunya from Turkey. Fashion clogs. In the 1970s and 1980s, Swedish clogs became popular fashion accessories for both sexes. They were usually worn without socks and were considered suitable attire for the avant-garde man. In the 1980s and 1990s, clogs based on Swedish clogs returned in fashion for women. Platform clogs or sandals, often raised as high as 6 or even 8 inches right through between sole and insole, were worn in many Western countries. The large midlayer was often made of solid cork, although some were merely of plastic with a cork covering. The sole, more often than not, was made of a light sandy-colored rubber. Some of the platforms of these clogs were encompassed about with a string-laced effect. In 2007, Dutch designers Victor and Rolf introduced high-heeled Dutch clogs on the catwalk, with their winter collection of 2007-8. In 2010, Swedish clogs for women returned again in Chanel's and Louis Vuitton's Spring/Summer 2010 collection. Museum. Bata Shoe Museum, Canada. International Wooden Shoe Museum, Eelde, Netherlands. Baimi Wooden Clog Village, Taiwan. Clitheroe Castle Museum, Lancashire, UK.